All right, all right, all right. We got a pretty good turnout today. How's everybody doing?
Real good, brother. How you doing?
Hi.
Good, good, good. Perfect, perfect. All right. We're gonna wait maybe one more minute just to make sure everybody gets on here so that way I'm not stopping and interrupting the class. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Mhm.
I hope so, because I put a lot of work into this. And I think it's definitely going to be very helpful. I think throughout the years, I've been one thing that I've liked about the coaching space is I love to study the algorithms and see what's working, what's not working, and more importantly, find ways to kind of get around little things. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been, hit with like an infraction or, or something like that on Instagram for making a post or maybe sharing something that kind of went against the guidelines. Has anybody gone through that situation?
No. Mm.
No? Yeah? Yes? No? Okay. Some say yes, some say no. It's a pain in the butt because after you do it a couple times, like they get you pretty good. So I currently have a infraction that they gave me for pretty much it lasted about a year. So it's about to be over. They gave me this infraction last February. So we're about to hit a year. But I found ways to get around it. And, I'm still finding ways to go viral, ways to still get around people. And it's all just a matter of looking for solutions. Okay. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share a couple of different things that I wanted to do. But mainly, before we get started, what I want to do is I kind of want to open up the mic really quick and let me know what you guys are struggling with when it comes to content creation. Is it something along the lines of like finding time to maybe film topics, or maybe you just don't know where to start, or where are you guys at with this?
I think it's the recording of myself. It's getting familiar. Myself, I'm not. I've never done like recorded myself, but not talking. More of workout videos and stuff. I think just understanding on how to get comfortable and sound more natural versus sound like a robot.
Good, good. Thank you, Lucy. I appreciate that. Anybody else?
Um,
I get Lewis.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, so one thing I'm struggling with is just getting people to comment the word fit or the word swap, whatever it may be, to get clients. That's one of the things that I'm kind of struggling with.
Good, good. Okay. I'll give you an answer for each one of those. One more person. I'll open this up for one more.
Hey, for me, it's time, but I will say that the content batching has been helpful because the goal is to get to the multiple posts per day. So just getting enough content in and recorded to be able to meet that commitment.
Okay. All right, perfect. So let's start with Lucy. Okay, before I get into the presentation for today. So Lucy, first thing that you have to understand is we all start somewhere. You get what I'm saying? When we all started, I can go back to the very beginning. When I first started, I stuttered a lot. It wasn't perfect. In fact, it's still not perfect. A lot of people think that my videos are pretty damn good. I'm my worst critic.
mhm.
They're not. So you will find ways to get better. The only way you're going to get better is by just repetition, repetition, repetition. Look at all the famous YouTubers, all the famous influencers, and even celebrities. When you go back to their initial videos, they were not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now we're moving into a new era with AI that everything is perfection. So all the imperfections are starting to be lost. So people crave speaking to someone who's real. You get what I'm saying? So when people see that, connection or that authenticity from you, they will be drawn to that because we're moving to a whole new age. You get what I'm saying? So content is changing. This is why I keep saying that social connection and connection videos are going to be essential because that is your personal brand, and you're competing with AI now. You get what I'm saying? Like now, there's people that are literally replicating themselves with AI, and they're not even filming their own videos anymore. Like that's where we're going. where you can have an avatar and have the avatar literally say anything and like make endless amount of videos. You get what I'm saying? So my thing about you is just get comfortable with it. Keep practicing. The best way that you can go about it is start with your stories. Share every single day, share what you're doing, speak to the camera. And one thing that helped me is when you're speaking, I think your train of thought is you're speaking to an audience when you should be thinking as if you're speaking to a friend. You get what I'm saying? So when you're speaking to the camera, speak to how you speak to me when we get on the coaching calls, right? You guys put so
Okay.
much pressure on yourself by thinking, well, there's millions of people that are going to be watching this and it's got to be perfect. And I said, too many times, or I look dumb, or my hair is messed up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some of the best content that I've made was literally in the spur of the moment. My hair wasn't perfect, the lighting wasn't perfect, but the message was there. You get what I'm saying? So
Got it.
think about speaking to the camera as if you're speaking to a friend, a childhood friend, your best friend, your girlfriend, and watch how you start taking the stress away from yourself. All right. But repetition is going to be key. One thing that I like to do also is film yourself, literally record yourself on selfie mode. You don't have to post it, but give yourself like a 5 to 10 minute video where you're telling your story. Nobody knows your story better than you. Speak about your story from the very beginning to now. Why do you do what you do? Why are you passionate about coaching people? Right? And when you start doing that, you're going to start seeing how raw you really get, and go with the train of thought that you're not going to post it. This is just for you. Right? And once you start speaking to the camera, you can go back and watch it. I I always go back to all my stories. I rarely even go on people's pages. I just rewatch my stories. I like to see where I can improve, maybe where I can make some pauses. Like right now, I'm doing pauses because I speak really fast, and when I do, people are like, "Wait, what? What did you say?" Right? So
Mhm.
I like to kind of be aware of those little things, right? Watch your stories every single day at the end of the day and kind of reflect. You know, how is this going? Most of the time when I look at it now, I'm like, wow, that was actually pretty good. Like, and think to yourself, would you follow you? Like the advice
Mhm.
that you're giving on social media, the way that you're showing yourself, would you follow you? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So go about it that way. Okay. And remember, I want your social media to be treated like a reality show, literally a reality show, a day in the life of Joe, a day in the life of Ryan, with commercial breaks. That's what it is. This is the personal branding part. And again, if you guys do not lock in your personal brand right now, in the next 3 years, you guys are going to be competing against AI. And the only thing that will save you is your personal brand. Because one thing you guys have to understand is people don't buy a program, they buy into you. You get what I'm saying? Right? I know Nereida signed up with me and Vincent because she knew me. She already had that trust in me. She knew me from the dog game. Most of you guys who bought off of me didn't buy the program. You guys were trusting me. You get what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing with your clientele. So the only way that people are going to trust you is by showcasing who you are every single day, right? Make sense? Okay, so that
Yeah.
answers Lucy's. Joe, when you're talking about you're getting a hard time with people commenting the keyword, which is your call to action, correct? Okay,
Correct.
two ways to solve this, brother. So first of all, if you're telling me that people are not commenting on the keyword, the call to action, two reasons
Mhm.
why that could be happening. Maybe you're not being consistent with your messaging. Okay, so maybe you're taking breaks in between posting. Maybe you're not posting consistently. Maybe the value that you're giving out is generic. Maybe the value that you're giving out is not consistent. It's kind of all over the place. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Maybe one day you're talking about building muscle, the next day you're talking about cutting fat. Pick one, brother. Pick one. You get what I'm saying? So if you stick, your messaging should be congruent throughout the board. Get what I'm saying? When people go onto your page, that message has to be delivered in different ways, but with congruency. If it's all over the place, one day you're speaking about this, and the next day you're speaking about that, the next day you're speaking about this and this and this and that, you're kind of confusing people. It's a Netflix effect. Every single time that I go to Netflix, there's so much information on there that I kid you not, it takes me like 20 minutes to pick a movie. By the time I start the movie, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last thing that I would suggest, brother, is give out some type of value, a free ebook, something that's valuable that can get people to actually comment. You get what I'm saying? Maybe like
Yeah.
a free guide on eating out or a workout, something that's actually valuable. You can ask ChatGPT to make this for you. Go on Canva and make it nice, bro. Like make it nice. Don't just half-ass it and just ask ChatGPT, oh, give me a PDF file. You know, it just looks generic and people are going to be like, oh, this is garbage. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Put some effort into it, bro. Go on Canva, pay for like the pro version, make it nice. Another thing that you can do is go on Fiverr and freelance it. There's a bunch of people on there. Literally, it'll cost you like $20 to make like one or two free ebooks. You literally give them the information, go on ChatGPT, hey, make me a eating out guide with the most popular restaurants out there that are fast food. Keep this fat loss friendly. Keep this for busy entrepreneurs who are constantly on the road. Make it tasty. Pick the most popular items and make it something that would be in a calorie deficit nutrition guide. Boom, it gives you the whole thing. Freelance it on someone on Fiverr. It'll cost you like $20, $25, small little investment. They'll give you a really nice PDF, upload it to your Google Drive. Boom, comment the word free guide if you want my free guide. Boom. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Usually I've been doing that. Sometimes I'll say, like, for example, comment the word fit down below, and then I'll send you a 6-day weight loss plan or something like that. So
Yeah.
sometimes I do add that. But usually, those call to actions are what brings me clients, right? Those people that are kind of interested in getting to know who I am and just learn more about my program.
Yeah.
I've kind of been struggling this new year. Last year I was doing pretty well, but this year I was only able to pick up two new clients, and I thought I was going to get a little bit more just out of kind of people having that New Year resolution to get in shape. But I'll try what you said a little bit more, and then
Yeah.
see how that goes.
Yeah. And also I'm glad that you brought up that topic because that's not that specifically that content piece that you're talking about is not what's getting you the content, brother. It's a mix of all the content that you're doing. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Yeah.
people have to like you, trust you, and social proof, which is your results. Obviously, it's a combination of everything. It's what happens is a lot of the times you just happen to get someone who actually comments that, then you start a conversation and you think that that's the content piece that gave you the client, but it's not that. It's how you're showing up on your stories. It's how consistent you're being with your posting and your messaging. It's a full circle, brother. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what's getting you the client because usually what you're doing right now, it's going to set you up for the next 90 days. So what you're doing right now is
Yeah.
going to set you up for the next 90 days because usually when you have a warm audience, let's just say someone just found you on the Explore page, they hit the like button on one of your things, they started consuming some of your content, and all of a sudden they're following you. That is not necessarily a warm audience. That's still kind of like a cold to warm audience because they don't really know you. They haven't really trusted you, but they like you. They like what you're saying. They like your look. They're like, I kind of like this guy. You get what I'm saying? But they don't trust you enough. So it usually takes about, I would say 60 to 90 days for someone to buy off of you, to someone to convert. One question that you guys should be doing every single time when you guys are on a sales call, ask them, is there anything that you might have seen on my page that led you to getting on this call? Maybe a transformation, maybe a testimonial or a content piece or something that I might have said. You're going to see that the majority of the people, from what I've gathered, is they're going to say, you know what, Luis, I've been wanting to reach out to you for a while now. In fact, it's been 3 months or 6 months before I actually decided that you were my guy. I was consuming some of the content, but I just wasn't ready. So I felt like now is the time. And the other day that you posted a transformation, I saw that result and I thought to myself, wow, that kind of looks like me. I think I'm ready. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
be patient with it, brother. What you're posting right now isn't what's going to give you the client. It's the consistency of the 60 to 90-day rule. Okay. And this goes for sales all over, like all over the industries. Okay. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I'll definitely apply that. If I may, I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of the times when I book these consultations, I'll get on the phone with somebody, and then for some reason they think that it's free.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm kind of thinking like, didn't you do a little bit of homework on me? Obviously, I have transformations on there, so I'm kind of confused about that. How do I get these people to understand that they're stepping into the call almost expecting to make a payment? I know I've worked with you in the past, so sometimes I use the word of like, is this something that you're ready for, ready to invest? But sometimes I feel like that comes off a little bit too salesy and too harsh because it almost says that I'm just going for their pockets. So I mean, can you maybe help me break that barrier?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. So this is the qualifying questions that you should be asking before you get on the call. There's nothing worse than, getting on a call with someone, wasting a whole hour of your day only to find out this person doesn't have money, this person isn't ready, or this person wants to sign up 2 months later. You get what I'm saying? So we
Yeah,
just wasted a whole hour, right? So it
yeah,
all goes to the qualifying questions. Two different ways you can go about it. You can use my rule of thumb, which is, or my special sentence that always qualifies or disqualifies people. Is this something that you're serious about changing and ready to invest into your goals if you were to find the right program for you? Okay. Or if you were to find the right program that fits you, right? So they're either going to say yes or no. Another way that you can go about it is, for example, let's just say we're already halfway through the DM, right? The DM script. They already told you what their goal is. They want to lose 20 pounds. They're not following a nutrition plan. This is something that's been, affecting their self-esteem. What you can say is, would you like some help with that? They're going to say yes. You're going to say, perfect. How about we do this? How about we set up a free 15-minute, 30-minute consultation call? We go over a couple of goals, a couple of your goals. I can give you a couple of strategies. Then on the call, I can find a program that fits you and fits your budget. And if it's something that aligns with you, I would love to be a part of your journey. If for whatever reason it doesn't fit, then maybe you can just leave with some free value. Does that sound like a plan? Great. Okay, perfect. Then go ahead and book them. The fact that you're already telling them that you're going to suggest a couple plans, they already know. I mean, come on, bro. Most people know that it's a sales call. I mean, that, and I feel like people are just really lonely right now, where I don't know how people can lose 1 hour. I don't have that type of time to just lose 1 hour of my day with someone who just wants to chit chat. But that's the second approach that I gave you. It's non-threatening. It's just kind of like, hey, let's just see if something we can find something that fits you and fits your budget. Okay.
okay,
Then what you're gonna do is to not to pre-qualify them, but to warm them up and kind of pre-sell them. It's very essential, bro. I know you have testimonials. I know you have transformations. When you book
yeah,
the call, right? Let's just say you got the email. You got to get the email. You got to get the phone number because you're going to build your email list to retarget later, right? Especially if you're working with a VA. It's very essential you guys get those emails and the phone number, okay? And also Instagram handle. Let's just say you booked it. Perfect. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at 3 p.m. I've got you on my calendar. Let me send you a couple testimonials and transformations so you know what to expect. Okay.
yeah,
So you send the best transformations that you have for your client, right? And this is based off of gender. So if you have a female, you're not going to send them a testimonial from a male. Find one that's obviously a female, right?
yeah,
And you're going to send them a couple of transformations that's female. If it's a male, you're going to do the opposite, correct? And what's going to happen, bro, is when they go on to the sales call, they're already excited. They already know that you can deliver results. It's literally just a matter of if you can find a price that fits their budget, right? Now, I've got a different way of selling my programs now. I pretty much put everybody through like a webinar, like a presentation now. And I
okay,
feel like that is essential. I'll go over some of that stuff with you later. We can kind of talk about that, but it literally sells a program. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because it's perception, right? But
exactly,
that's the way that I would go about it, bro. And again, I'm gonna backtrack one more time. I'm gonna say something like, would you like some help with this?
yeah,
Yes. Okay, perfect. Why don't we set up a free 15 to 30-minute consultation call. We can go over your goals and we can see if we can find the program that fits you and your budget, right? And that's pretty much it, bro. So when they step on it, they already know you're gonna show them something. And when you do show them something or when you present something, now they're already expecting it. So it's good. It's just a matter of you packaging everything correctly and figuring out. And when you're on the call, bro, you got to understand that you got to find what the problem is. People are coming to you with the problem, right? All you're going to do is figure out what the problem is and
Yeah.
why they haven't been able to find a solution. You're going to repeat everything that they said, which is the problem. You're going to package your program to be the solution, and you're going to showcase that you can fix the problem. That's
Yeah.
all it is. You get
Yeah.
what I'm
Pretty
saying?
much resell them back on their problems.
Exactly. That's all it is. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I had a really
Um,
quick question, if that's okay,
yeah.
Luis.
Yes.
So the part where you're saying for us to tell them what we're going to go ahead and do is set up a free 15-minute to 30-minute consultation, which I've done on that. Do I send them to pre-qualify them saying, hey, click on my bio? Is that what I'm telling them, to go on that thing, that link for them to fill out that thing? Do I need to do that, or
No,
just set up the appointment with
no,
them?
no. Set up the appointment. So there's two different ways to booking calls, right? You can book them through the application form, which is your link on your bio, or you can do it through a direct conversation on a DM or a text message, right? So it pretty
Okay,
much does the exact same
one
thing.
or the other.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
and
pick
then
one of
my
them.
question. Okay, my question is, so when they sound so interested and they're ready to make a change, you book the appointment, you do the appointment, you invested that time, like, we don't just want to just waste time. But then at the end, they're like, it's a no thanks, knowing that it's going to cost something, but yet after they're kind of refusing this, so they're going to do it on their own, but yet you have to message you, two different times within a couple week period from your call, asking for advice on what to be eating.
All right. So if I
So at
understand,
that second time, I'm like, I'm not opening that one because that I'm
yeah. Okay. So this is if I understand correctly, what you're saying is someone, let's just say for example, someone got on a phone call with you, they didn't buy, then maybe 2 months later, they're still asking for advice.
correct. Yeah, they're asking me to, what should they be eating? They're
Yeah.
asking for nutrition,
Yeah.
which I try to sell them. They didn't want it. They said they're going to do it on their own, but
Mhm.
yet they're asking, hey, I can't eat this, and this. What would you suggest?
Yeah. Okay. So here's where you have to separate the personal and understand that this is a business. And for us to grow a business, we have to put our ego aside. Okay. This isn't,
Okay.
you're not going to just be like, hey, F you, you didn't buy from me.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ask
yeah.
ChatGPT or go find someone else because I'm not giving you free advice. You have to
Yeah. Go to your
understand
doctor and
that
get a
we're,
nutrition plan.
yeah,
No, okay.
we're running a business. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sometimes people just haven't consumed enough content from you to trust you. If that person didn't buy off of you, it's not necessarily that they don't have the money or they didn't want to buy, they just didn't have enough information to believe that you can solve their problem. Okay. And that's okay.
Okay.
I've had people, including people that are on here, who I went first on a couple conversations. They didn't buy, then later on they did buy. You get what I'm saying? So
Okay.
your job is to understand you're running a business. So what I would do in that situation is give them some free value. This is no different than, them going to ChatGPT. What you want to do is
Okay.
establish relationship, establish trust. You get what I'm saying? Help them out a little bit,
Okay.
give them this and this and that, or whatever it is. And if they want to get a little bit more technical, like, hey, well, I'm not understanding this. What you would say is like, hey, Lucy, unfortunately, I can't give you a direct answer because I don't know what your situation is, right? Now, if you were to get on the program, this is the type of stuff that we resolve on the program. Okay. So whenever you're
Okay.
ready to take that step, I would love for us to revisit this and I would be more than happy to assist you with that. That's it.
Okay.
You're gonna be like,
Gotcha.
oh, you get what I'm saying? But you did it in a professional way. You're not being bitchy about it. You get what I'm saying? Which we have to be
Correct.
careful about because sometimes our emotions kind of get in play. I've been there before. You get what I'm saying? Where I'm like, dude, I'm trying to help you. Like, you need my help. I don't need you, But
Yeah.
yeah, you got to understand we're running a business. And if you want to run a successful business, you have to provide value. Don't take it personal. If someone didn't buy off of you, it's just the fact that you probably didn't do a good job to be able to package the information for them to understand or believe that you can solve the problem. Doesn't mean that you can't
Okay.
solve the problem. We just have to work on that. And this is why it's so important for each one of you guys to record all your calls so that way we can rewatch and see where we effed up. Because sometimes it was one little word that we might have said that we didn't sound confident, and people sense that energy. Does that make sense?
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to go to Chris and I'm going to go ahead and start. Chris, you were talking about content batching. Okay. Essential. We're going to talk about that today. So content batching is super important for you guys. If you guys, I've been doing this for such a long time. I used to be the guy who was filming 1 or 2 videos a day, and it's freaking stressful. It is, especially having a whole family, having, a successful business and being all over the place. It's difficult filming on the go. So pick 1 hour out of the day, manage to try to film 5 to 10 videos on that 1 hour. Then every week, you're going to start accumulating content. If I do it today, I've got 5 videos. If I do it next week on Saturday, I've got 10 videos, then 15, then 20, and then I'm already set for the week. You get what I'm saying? So what you guys should be doing is, I'm going to go over that today. You guys should be saving viral videos that you guys can recreate, have an album. I've got endless amounts of content, content and video ideas that I can film. It's just a matter of me going back to my album and checking, I kind of like this one. No, yes, 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 yes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and film these 5. Boom. Then film them one after another. When you guys do content batching, believe it or not, and I know Ryan is an actor. He can obviously vouch for this. Once you film back to back to back to back to back, guess what? That first video might suck, but the next ones are going to be better and better and better and better because you're in flow state. You get what I'm saying? So when you do that, your videos become better. Instead of just going on the go and you're stressed and you're kind of like in a hurry and you're like, damn, I got to film a video and you're stressed. So content batching is everything. Okay. All right. Perfect. So let's get on to this small little presentation that I put together for you guys. And maybe I can show you guys a couple things that I've learned. Where are we at? All right, share screen. Okay. Took down some notes and I put together a small little presentation for you guys so you guys can understand what it is that we need to do to build a personal brand and to blow this up. Okay. Okay. So 3 keys to building a business that goes viral. Again, the rule to sales is, people buy off of people they like, they trust, and results, correct? So, translation, what does that mean? If we want to build a business that goes viral, we gotta give some value. We gotta connect with individuals. We gotta be posting content on value, right? It's gotta be valuable. People gotta be like, man, this guy's very knowledgeable. He knows what he's talking about. Also, connection. They gotta feel like they know you. They gotta feel like they resonate with you. They gotta feel like some part of them is you. Like this person, like I want to be like this person, or this person reminds me of me. I've been through the exact same stuff that he's been through, right? So connection content. And also conversion, right? Conversion, we need conversion content. This is what signs up clients. But this is not going to work if this is missing, okay? We need value, we need connection, because without value, without connection, there's no conversion. Does that make sense? Go ahead and give me a little thumbs up on the chat or a hell yes, so I understand that you guys are actually following along. All right, perfect. Okay. So what I need you guys to understand is people don't buy programs, they buy into you. Okay. What does that mean? Well, I was talking to one of my clients here who's I'm going to kind of pick on him a little bit, and I hope he doesn't mind, but I think it's a great example. Johnny. Okay, so Johnny, we're talking about personal branding, and he told me, he's like, dude, I got a really good personal brand. I think the only thing that I'm missing is the systems. I went on his page and I was like, great. You got some high quality photos for sure. Absolutely. I love it. Right. And let's go back to his page so you guys can kind of understand. It's very important. And Johnny, I'm just using this for educational purposes, brother.
All good, my man. Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Okay.
And so Johnny is amazing. So he's very qualified to do what he's doing. And look at this content, amazing shape, right? He's competed IFBB Pro, I believe. He's been on multiple magazine covers. Incredible transformation. Physique is on point, right? High quality photos. There's no blurry photos or anything like that. All great stuff, right? But when I'm talking about personal branding, I was telling him, I was like, bro, I want to know like who you are. I want to know, like he told me he had a daughter. I didn't even know he had a daughter, right? Like I want to know what's your daughter's name. I want to know what you're into. Are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? For a long time I couldn't figure out if Johnny was Mexican, Hispanic, or Filipino. Like I want to know that stuff. You get what I'm saying? I want to feel like I know this guy, right? And all I see here is that he's a bodybuilder. Like he's really serious into bodybuilding because he's got a serious physique, right? But the only content piece that I really, really resonated with, I like this. I like this. Yeah. Because that kind of makes me think, oh, he might be Mexican. I can roll with this guy. I like this, cowboy guy, right? And this right here, this is cool. I like this. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. Like, people. Now, let me go use mine for example. And the reason I'm using mine is because I'm pretty crystal clear with what I'm doing. Okay. So right off the bat, right here, you already know I'm a coach. You already know I'm married, right? You already know what my mission is. You already know how to contact me. So it's very straightforward, right? When you go on my content, you start consuming, it is very crystal clear that I'm a man of faith, right? I'm successful. I had a big weight loss transformation, right? My daughter's family. I'm a man of prayer, right? I've got social proof to prove to you that I can get you in shape, right? There's a lot of vulnerable content where I'm talking about really deep stuff. I'm bringing you guys into my life. This is literally a reality show. Most people don't showcase all this stuff. This is me literally right after my daughter was born, like a couple hours, I was doing a coaching call, right? This is really intimate stuff, right? So again, like behind the scenes, right? Me rubbing my wife's, feet, literally right before labor. Letting people know, hey, the baby's coming. The baby's coming. We've been waiting for this moment for such a long time, right? Me talking about what I do, like everything that I do, it's for my family. It's to create a better life for them, right? You guys get the point, right? So this is what a strong personal brand looks like. So when people buy into me, I personally don't think that they're buying into this, right? These transformations are great, amazing transformations, but I don't think they're buying into that. What they're buying into is this: the fact that I'm a man of faith, the fact that they trust me, they know my family, they know that I'm a man of value, a man of morals, and I'm not going to screw them over. That I'm literally there to help them. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a little thumbs up on the chat if
Yeah.
you guys resonate with that. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So when I say treat your Instagram like a reality show, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, also, it's very important that you guys have crystal clear images. Okay. Like, don't just be posting content where there's like trash in the back. It looks like you guys live in a dumpster. Like, make it look nice. Your personal brand should be high class. You guys are obviously, targeting entrepreneurs, business owners, people that are wealthy, right? So you have to look the part as well. So if you guys notice, I'm always very well dressed. in all my content, right? So this is why I can attract a lot of high level people, right? You don't need the car. You don't need the car to attract people. I was attracting that type of people before I had the cars, right? Before I had the success and everything. But just make sure that obviously your hair is all nice and done, you're clean cut, you're presentable, and you blend in with that crowd. Does that make sense? Give me a little thumbs up if you guys
Yeah.
are following along. Good. All right, perfect. Let's go back to here. Okay. So people buy off of people they like and they trust. They're buying into you. Okay. So like I mentioned, treat your Instagram as a reality show. I misspelled that, so ignore that part. Like a reality show with commercial breaks. Okay. So if you go back to the beginning of my journey, I documented every stage of my life. I documented when I was homeless, when I was fat, and I was talking about, getting in magazine covers and I was going to become a millionaire one day and people laughed at me. Okay. Now I've got the social proof to go back and be like, yes, I told you so. That was me. This is me now. And, I put in the work and thank God, thank Jesus that I'm here. I had faith and I, trusted the process and here I am. Okay. So again, you guys, when I talk about, treating your Instagram like a reality show, guys, think about it kind of like seasons, like, seasons in a reality show or a sitcom. There's bulking seasons. Showcase that. If you're a bodybuilder and you're bulking, don't be afraid to showcase yourself overweight or not at your best. This is what makes you normal. This is what makes you relatable. This is what makes you, makes people be like, oh, wow, he's actually human. He actually eats a pizza. He actually eats cheesecake once in a while. He's not so perfect. You get what I'm saying? People need to relate to you. Okay. Now, if you're going through a single stage or something, right? Showcase that. Showcase, hey, right now I'm working on myself, or right now I'm doing some healing. Whatever the situation is, whatever season that you're in, bring people in there because you can literally make a series off of that, right? I know Ryan is an actor, and I remember one thing that he would share on his page is like he was, showcasing that part, how he's obviously chasing the dream and all that stuff. People like that. You get what I'm saying? So remember, you guys have access to, I don't know how many, what is it, like 8 billion people or 3 billion? I don't know how many it is all over the world, all through social media. It's incredible what one content piece can do when it's packaged directly. I've had like Miss Universe from the Philippines who's got like a million followers who was like literally sent me a little while ago. She sent me like this really deep message. Luis, I love your content. I just found you and I love the masculinity content and everything that you're doing. The fact that you're a man of faith and it's just such an honor to connect with people like you. Guys, you have access to high level individuals. I'm talking about celebrities. You get what I'm saying? That resonate with your content. Sometimes I show my wife and I'm like, oh, look, you remember this person? I grew up watching this person on TV and now they follow me. And I'm like, why do they follow me? You get what I'm saying? But it's the messaging behind it, right? There's something that I'm saying, there's something that they're resonating with. And this is why it's so important that your content pieces all are in congruency with the last one. Okay. So you need to become a celebrity in your space. What does that mean? I'm not saying you have to be in a magazine cover. What I'm saying is you have to be the best at what you do. Okay. For example, if you are a female and you specialize on building booties, right? And you're a vegan, you better be the number one vegan booty builder, the go-to girl. You get what I'm saying? So I like, for example, for me, my niche, and everybody knows me as the man of God, right? Like everybody's like, oh, this guy, the masculine man of God who's, into personal development. Like that is my niche. It's like everybody knows me for that, especially the praying videos. Like it's crazy how I started putting that out from one idea piece that I got and I started replicating that. And now I see a bunch of people doing it. And that actually makes me smile because I'm like, oh, wow, I think I kind of started a trend here. You get what I'm saying? So again, you have to be the best choice for that client in that space. So when I say become a celebrity in your space, I mean it. Invest into you. Okay. Um, how do we do that? Well, the goal to going viral is eyeballs. There's a lot of different ways we get eyeballs, right? Podcasts, collaborations, There's obviously content that we're going to be obviously hosting, but start following people that are influential, people that can open doors to you. All these people that I have here, they all had podcasts. You get what I'm saying? I saw that someone else came out on a podcast and I was like, huh, that looks like a great connection that I can make. I started following them. I started contributing to their, content, commenting and stuff like that. Then I made the presentation. I literally went on their DM and I was like, hey, I would love to be a part of your podcast one day. I've got a great backstory that I feel like your audience can resonate with, then, obviously I got on the podcast, right? So showcase your lifestyle. This is where this is where I even battled myself for a long time, right? Where for me, being especially now that I'm like so tuned into the faith stuff, when people are like, oh, all you care about is money, or it's not all about the money and stuff like that. Well, you know what? My accomplishments have led me to save lives, not just through personal development, but even today, I'm actually going to be baptizing the whole family. Why? Because someone came up to me, started a conversation with me about dogs, then that, conversation turned into personal development. Then they asked me, what do you do for a living? And I said, life coaching. And they're like, wow, did that pay for the house? Did that pay for the cars and all that stuff that you have? And I'm like, absolutely. And it wouldn't be possible without Jesus Christ. Then we started a conversation about obviously, Christ, and it led to baptism, and now I'm going to be baptizing a whole family, right? So what I'm trying to say, guys, is showcase your lifestyle, okay? Now, you don't need fancy cars. You don't need to be in the best shape to be able to showcase what you're doing. Some of you guys have a beautiful relationship already. Showcase that. Showcase your relationship. Show other men how to treat a woman properly, how to lead properly. If you're a man of faith, open up your Bible. Start showcasing what you learn in scripture, how you're getting closer to God, how you're starting a relationship with God. If you're someone who is going through maybe a recomp on your body, talk about the struggles, the mental struggles that people go through after they compete, and how the rebound literally takes a toll not just on your hormones, but also in your mental state, and how you're trying to fix that, right? Showcase that, guys. Like, you don't need the fancy stuff. There was a point in my life when I didn't have any of this. And what I did is I got resourceful. I went to Starbucks and I started filming content in Starbucks. Just found a nice little wall and I started filming content right there. I got a backdrop. All right, cool. Like, nobody needs to know where I live right now. You get what I'm saying? This is just temporary. So I had to do what I had to do to move forward. This isn't about faking it till you're making it. This is about putting in the reps every single day. Show up regardless of how you feel. The conditions don't have to be perfect. Just do the damn work. Show up. Show God that you're ready for the blessing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, perfect, perfect. All right, good, good, good. Let me see what the chat is saying. All right, perfect, perfect. Okay, all right, good. So let's keep moving forward. Okay, guys, those of you guys who are married, those of you who are in a relationship, use that to your advantage. I will tell you this, some of the most viral content that I've made is me with my wife, me with my children. Okay, people love to see that. Whenever you feel like your content isn't popping off, throw in a picture with your girl, with your boyfriend, or with your husband, with your wife, with your family, with your kids. People love that. Why? Because it's relatable. Okay. And again, it goes back to the personal branding. So how do we build it? All right. So photo shoots. Photo shoots are super important, right? Again, you don't have to be in a magazine cover. You don't have to be in top shape, but hey, maybe go do a fitness photo shoot. I know Jason just did one recently. That was an amazing photo shoot that he did. Go do a lifestyle photo shoot. You get what I'm saying? Go pay a videographer, some money, maybe $300, $400, $500, and set up a whole day of content creation. Get different outfits, set up a like a business attire, maybe you with your little laptop, go find a hotel, a lobby, and start filming some really dope content, lifestyle stuff, stuff that, obviously resonates with the audience that you're obviously trying to target. I do that all the time. That's how I make my reels. I literally pay a photographer, or I'll just get my wife to film it, or my little daughter who's 10 years old. I'll coach them. I'll go to like a little lobby somewhere at a hotel and get some small little short content pieces, and that works. You get what I'm saying? But invest into your brand. This isn't don't look at it as in like you're spending money. This is an investment in your image, in your business, and you should be doing this at least once every quarter of the year. Okay. Video shoots, I already spoke about that. Podcasts are super important. You should be hitting up a podcast, like at least one or two podcasts every week. Find them. There's tons of them. In fact, I've got four of them right now that literally reached out to me. As soon as I moved into Montgomery, I had one guy, I haven't even answered him. He was like, dude, I'm in Dallas. You're about 2 hours away, but I would love for you to come to my podcast. He's been, on me about that, right? I had someone else tell me that in Florida, they got a podcast that they want me to be in. And I know Vince has a podcast in Miami. So I told my wife, hey, you know what? I think this next month, we're going to have to take a trip to Florida and we're going to go knock out a couple podcasts. That's content. So for me, I'm looking at it as in like a small little getaway, right? I'm not taking a vacation, but I'm going to go take a flight to go put in some reps and I'm going to get some dope content. I'm not just going to get small little content pieces that I can use and collaborate with, but I'm also going to get a full podcast that's going to go on YouTube. And guess what? People are going to come to my page. Does that make sense? All right. Perfect. Okay. So now collabs in your space. This is super important. Guys, you guys should be collaborating. All right. Right now, I can't collaborate on my main page, but I've been doing it on my second page. Find people in your niche, people that do what you do, people that resonate with your calling, people that you get along with. Tap into their audience. The fastest way to grow is to tap into other people's audience. All the people that I hired, all my mentors, Brandon Carter, Wes Watson, who was it? Brian, BFit Mark, all these guys that I hired, every single one of them, five of them. I hired them not just because of their knowledge, but also because of their social media. I was very smart that I knew that I was going to crush it. And how I do one thing is how I do everything in life, right? I started giving them some dope testimonials and guess what? They just happened to share me on their page. When they shared me on their page, guess what? I got more eyeballs. I got more people, more views, and that turned into obviously more followers and eventually more clients. So collaborate with people. Don't be afraid to collaborate with people in your space. If you're someone who's like, well, I don't know, I'm kind of threatened by that person because that person's a coach too. What if my clients go and hire that other person? That's a poor man's mindset. Those clients weren't your clients to begin with. Okay. So you should be collaborating with people in your space and you should be doing at least one collaboration per week. Find people, okay? And if you can't find them, you can find them right here. You just start adding, each one of you guys should be adding each other on social media right now and collaborating with each other and trying to set up some type of collabs. I'm talking about collaborations. I'm talking about collaboration posts. For example, if you guys live near each other, go hit a workout, go get some content together, go film you guys working out, go pay a photographer and film the workout, then after the workout, maybe do some talking videos, like maybe some motivational stuff in between the workouts. Those are some of the best workouts, some of the best motivational speeches that you can ever come up with because you're in flow state. So collaborate your posts. Collaborate lives. Okay. Remember, this equals eyeballs. The more eyeballs that we have, the more followers we have, the more leads, and the more conversations we can start. Okay. Work smarter, not harder. Okay. Don't reinvent the wheel. And I feel like that's why most of you guys don't grow because you guys want to be authentic. You guys want to make this unique, brand or something like that. Trust me, there's nothing unique about anybody's brand. Each one of us, we all got inspired by someone else. So if you're trying to reinvent the wheel, you're literally going to be left behind by the people who literally understand what works. Okay. So what does that mean? Find people that you resonate with. Go check out their page. What are they talking about? What's working for them? What videos are popping off that they're doing that you can reinvent, that you can recreate, right? So save those viral videos. Every single time that you go on the the algorithm on the Explorer page, find people that are a celebrity in the space that are doing what you're doing. Save their videos. If you see a video that's over 1 million views, and it's got anything over 1,000 comments, you should be saving that for later, for inspiration. Now, I'm not saying go and copy word by word their videos, but guess what? It works. You get what I'm saying? If that video is going viral, the algorithm is literally telling you this works. Okay. So find a way to recreate it. Change the wording a little bit, get inspired, pay attention. Where did they film it? What audio are they using? And how are they putting the whole thing together? So start, saving viral videos. Then it goes back to content batching. Okay. We spoke about that right now. If you're not content batching, this is the reason why most of you guys are getting stressed on content. Guys, the person who wins the game is the person who's consistent and the person who is better prepared. Okay. There's people out there that are less qualified than you doing what you want to do, and they're succeeding at it. And the only reason that they're succeeding at it is because they just went for it. They're just doing it. And you're still waiting for the right lighting. You're still waiting for the right moment. You're still waiting for for something magical to happen for you to film that damn video. You get what I'm saying? Just pick up the phone and do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And when I say this is, I've got guys on my team that are skinny, like they have like no muscle and they have like 1,000 followers and they're freaking crushing it. Why? Because they literally just got the blueprint and they ran with it. And they're like, okay, Luis, so just do this. Okay, perfect, done. What's next? You get what I'm saying? While you're over here sitting on a dope physique, and you got all this knowledge and you're still waiting for the right lighting. You're still waiting for the right moment. You feel like you look stupid on camera and you deleted that video. You get what I'm saying? So try different styles, guys, different styles of content. We're going to go over the different styles, assess every 30 days and repeat. Okay. So let's talk about viral content. Okay, so there's connection videos. Okay, connection videos, which are reels. Okay, so connection videos, and I'm going to give you guys a couple examples right now in real time. So connection videos, this is where we're talking about deep stuff. This is where we're talking about who we are, what we overcame, things that are vulnerable in our life. So those are connection videos. Okay. Also, there's carousel posts. A lot of you guys know that. You can obviously get a bunch of different images and you guys can also make that into a connection post. Meaning, for example, if I want to showcase how I lost the weight and how, personal development changed my whole life, I can literally take my whole transformation and put it in a carousel. I can go from Fat Louise to losing my 20-year relationship to going homeless to literally making a change in my life to going to skinny Louise, who literally lost 100 pounds and I was 140 pounds. I was a little twig to deciding that I wanted to pack on some mass and I gained 60 pounds of muscle. And then I became a celebrity in my space. And here I am today. Okay. So that's your storytelling. Carousel posts are trending right now with reels. Okay. Reaction videos. There's different ways that you can do reaction videos. Those are something that are going viral. But here's the thing, guys. When you guys are finding these videos that you guys want to react to, don't just react to anything. Go and find one that is already going viral, one that is already trending. I'm not going to go and react to a video that literally didn't get any type of engagement just because I thought it was a cool thing to talk about. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to go find what's already working, right? So, for example, the other day I made a reaction video with Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez was nothing against Jennifer Lopez, but there's this video where she was talking about how she feels like men don't know how to show up in relationships and they take her for granted. And she was playing the victim mentality and so and so and so. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but you've had 5 divorces. Maybe it's time that we look in the mirror and think, what are we doing in these relationships that are repelling men? Because one thing is one failed relationship, maybe 2, or maybe even 3, but if we got 4 or 5, then maybe we got to look in the mirror and start taking some accountability and start looking for Christ and, looking in areas that we need to improve, right? That video
Yeah.
started popping off because obviously it was a controversial video. All right. So I already knew that that video was going to pop off. So find videos that are obviously trending and react to them. Um, let's see, backstory post. These are great transformation posts. Like I said, right now, it's showcasing pretty much your transformation, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's spiritual, whatever the situation is, you can turn it into a carousel post or a reel. Short form content clips. These are clips that are 15 seconds or less or 30 seconds or less. There's no talking or anything like that. There's obviously just some audio that's playing and maybe some captions. Podcast style videos. Literally, like I said, go on someone's podcast. If you don't have anybody's podcast to go on, it's not that difficult, guys. Just get yourself a nice little chair, some Amazon lightings, a nice little table in the back, and pretend like you have one of your friends interview you, ask you some questions, and film yourself from the side like you're speaking to someone. Nobody's going to know the difference. Okay. Story time raw clips. These are connection videos as well. Okay. These are very, very important. These are the ones that are money because this is where people actually they get to know you. I know Nereda was doing that in her story. I would love to see that in some posts. You get what I'm saying? Because that's when people get to know you, what you've been through, and all that stuff. Okay. I'm going to pause here for questions. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Hey, Louise.
Yes.
Um, so if you're showing your life on your story, and you're only getting sometimes like 10 to 20 views, and let's say I have 1,600 followers, right? Nothing crazy. Sometimes you get quite a bit of views, you get more eyeballs.
Yeah.
I felt like it's dropped dramatically, even though I put out content every day for 2.5 years, right? That the viewers on the story have like dwindled down. It's like, how do you get more views on your story?
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing, man. This is where the enemy will come to, either distract you or attack your identity. Ryan, what you're doing is not working. Why do you keep doing it? Get what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, just give up. When I converted my high value men content that I was putting out a year ago or so when you and I met versus now, and I made the transition to my Christian content, man, I would get like zero guys that actually wanted to hear my message. It was all the women that were like, finally, someone who understands what we want. And I was like, hey, man, if you want a free guide, on how to battle lust, comment the word lust, zero, 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 zero for almost a whole damn year. But you know what? I didn't give up. And now look, the majority of my clientele is all Christian based. You get what I'm saying? This is where you got to keep going, bro. This is where you got to keep going. Okay. So one, trust the process, keep going. That's one. Two, okay. What I would do is understand the algorithm. Okay. Use your polls to engage people, right? So delete your stories, start off with the poll. It doesn't even have to be business related, just something as generic as like for example, the other day I posted me drinking a coffee next to my pool. And I said something along I asked, are you guys a coffee drinker or a tea drinker? And dude, I had like freaking 300, 400 people, boom, 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 right? So what that happens is it tells Instagram that that story is popular. And what happens is it starts pushing it out to more people. Okay. So that's one way to reset the algorithm on your page. Okay. That's that. And two, treat your social media like a reality show, but also a business. Where is the direction going? You get what I'm saying? So if it's kind of like all over the place, people are going to fall off. People are going to be like, oh, I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about, but what is the purpose behind? Be intentional with what we're doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, if I'm showcasing my life, I know that I'm running a business, but I'm also intentional with the fact that, okay, today I want to talk about what my ideal client struggles with. Okay, so what is that? Okay, let me think back to Fat Luis. What was Fat Luis struggling with? Well, he was, body dysmorphia. body image issues, right? Also, having a broken mindset. So I was diving into those type of things, right? Make it interactive with your people. Invite people to interact with you. Ask people a question. Hey, what do you guys think about this? Then put a little poll or like one of those like little engaging things. You get what I'm saying? Now you're inviting people to interact, right? It's the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. I can be speaking to myself or speaking to the camera, but you notice how every like 3 minutes, I ask you guys, are you guys following along? Does that make sense? I'm inviting you guys to interact with me. Now I'm opening this up for questions. So when you do that, now you're making it fun. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I would suggest you to do, brother, is go live a little bit more so people can get to know who you are, get to know a little bit of the feeling of like who that person behind the camera is. You get what I'm saying?
All right.
And it doesn't always have to be intentional. Um, there would be times before, and I got to start doing this again, my page is down, my main page, but there would be times where like before when I used to smoke cigars, I would literally just slide up a cigar and I would throw on like music, like old country music. Sometimes it was Spanish music, sometimes it was ballads and stuff like that. And I would smoke my cigar and I would just literally, hey, what's going on? What are you guys up to? It's Friday. I'm not going out anywhere. I don't have anywhere to be. I'm here just enjoying my peace. And people would kind of come in and I would ask people, what song do you guys want me to play next? Then people would like literally, they love that because they were like, wow, we've never actually seen this part of you. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying go smoke a cigar, but what I'm trying to say is interact with people. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be fancy. You get what I'm saying? There'd be
Yeah.
times where like I would be driving my car and I would be like, hey, what's going on, guys? And so and so. And people like, oh my God, Luis, I love your content, so and so and so. Then I would ask them questions. Like, where are you guys tuning in from? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Atlanta. Oh, yeah. You know what? I haven't been to Atlanta in a long time. How's the weather over there? Make people feel like they matter, like they're like, make them feel seen and heard. When people feel like they matter, they want to support you and the brand. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Perfect, perfect. Any other questions before I move on? Nope. Good. All right. Perfect, perfect. Let's go back. All right. Are you guys getting value so far?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Good, 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 good. Love it. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. So let me show you guys a couple of different contents pieces so you guys understand what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. So when we're talking about connection content, this is a connection content here. Okay. There's a relatable transformation that a lot of people can relate to. Maybe they can't relate to this guy here because they haven't became that guy, but maybe they're here, right? And now look at my caption. My caption literally is super deep. And this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, guys. You guys have to be talking about your backstory. Your backstory is what's going to attract your clientele. Your vibe attracts your tribe. If I were to just be showcasing this guy, people would be like, this guy is always perfect. Look at him, his hair, his physique, and everything, like every photo. I can never be that guy. But when I talk about this guy and what it took to become, this guy from this guy, then people start listening. Okay, I'm gonna read small little gaps of this, small little pieces of this caption. I died the day that my son died. The day that I found out that that I lost my son was the day that my world ended. All my hopes and dreams died in that emergency room. I tried to end my own life because the pain was so strong. That's also the day that that I surrendered my life to Jesus. God called me that day to be a savior for my loved ones and those walking in the same path as me. I understood that my life was no longer about me. You guys don't beep understand that I no longer am alive. The old me is gone. This person I became is just a tool that God is using to wake you the F up. When you're not living to your full potential, I had to create this man that I am proud of to lead the broken and the wounded, right? I'm not going to read the rest, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, that's some deep stuff. I'm literally talking about the day that my son died, the day that I walked into that emergency room and I saw all the blood and everything. And like, that scarred me for life. And, that was the same day that I had to surrender myself to Jesus Christ, right? So when we look at that, people love that stuff. Look, 2,000, likes, right? If we look at the insights, interactions, 3,000 people, it reached 86,000 people. That's a connection piece. Okay. Um, so connection piece, right? When we're talking about also like short content, um, let me go back to, okay, conversion content. Okay. This is conversion content. Okay. And this is where I need you guys to understand that sometimes the conversion content itself isn't going to get the most engagement. Okay. So conversion content is literally social proof. This is me showcasing that I can get you in shape. In fact, guys, most of my transformations, if you actually pay attention, it doesn't really get much movement. There's barely any likes or comments that go on there. Why? Because people are not there for that. People want to see me. But when I get on phone calls, people talk about these transformations. They tell me, "Hey, I saw your brother's transformation. In fact, I'm 3 days sober. I'm actually looking to, find someone that can actually help me become the best version of myself. And if you did that for your brother, I'm pretty sure you can do that for myself, right?" There's literally barely any comments. I don't even know if there's any comments on this, but 4 comments or 5 comments. Okay. Barely anything. But don't get discouraged. The thing about this, guys, is when you guys have content that doesn't move, you guys stop posting it because you feel like the algorithm doesn't like it, or maybe your people don't like it. That's not the case. You guys have to leave that stuff because this is a building, this is a brick to your empire. So it serves a purpose. Okay. When I'm talking about also, we talked about obviously showcasing, family and stuff like that, right? Um, let's see. So value content. Okay, so we're talking about value content. I'm going to give you a really good example of what value content looks like. Just posted one the other day. Here. Okay. So this is a video. I'm not sure if it's going to play it. To break generational curses by leading your community, by leading your family, by leading your bloodline into the promised land. You do have influence. You do have that power. I want to start sharing with you guys what I do first thing in the morning. And I try to start with the word of God. And I want to know, and let me know in the comment section, how many of you guys have been doing these morning hacks that got me from average to where I'm at in my success life right now. Now, today I want to share a little bit of the word because it's very important that you guys start with the word, the connection to God. Everything is alignment, mind, body, and spirit. I did post my morning routine. If you did miss it, just go back on my reels and you will see it. I wanted to share today's. Okay, guys. So notice how I invited people into and to interact with me. Hey, if you've been following my morning hacks, let me know in the comment section. So it's a value. All right. So I'm giving practical value that people can use. The value that most of you guys are posting that doesn't work anymore is hey, here's 5 tips to lose your belly fat. That stuff, people don't care about that stuff anymore. They can just go to ChatGPT. They want to know more practical stuff about you, about how you became successful and stuff, that is really going to change their life. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to know 5 new exercises to grow my bicep. You get what I'm saying? So that's a great way to understand what value content is, right? So those are 2 different ones. We showed you guys obviously conversion, and what was the other one that I was talking about? Conversion, value, connection. Okay, so connection content. Okay, so here's another connection content that I posted. Where was it? Okay, boom. What's going on here? Story time. I normally don't talk about personal stuff this deep, but in the last 2 years, I haven't had a chance to speak about this topic because it was something that was taking a toll in my mental health. In the last 2 years, some of you guys have seen that I've dated a couple different people, right? And maybe this message might reach the right person. And the one thing that I do want to say is be careful who you give your heart to, because you don't know who that person is until you provide no more value into that person's life, that you start to see who that person really is and you see their true colors. Now, okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I don't want to take up too much of the time, but you guys get the idea. You know, it's story time, it's connection. I'm literally talking about my exes, how they literally tried to ruin, business ventures for me. And literally, I had to take like legal action to that, right? And what happened there was, people started resonating with it, right? Look, tons and tons and tons of comments. There's more comments. I don't know why it's not loading, but that's connection stuff. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to do when we're talking about finding viral stuff, find the stuff that works for you. Okay. Before I go on to the next thing, let's talk about the reaction videos. So there's different ways you can do reaction videos, right? This is one.
Yeah, Cameron told me I could stop, but one Jerry Springer, because guess what? Everyone watched it. Yeah, what do you think, baby?
Let everybody know what you think about me, Kirsty. Let us all know. Let us all know, girl.
Okay, so those are reaction videos. There's tons of different ways you guys can do them. You guys can do those on Canva. If you guys like, someone asked me, I think it was Johnny the other day, how do you do that? You go on Canva, use captions for your captions, and those are different ways you guys can do that. Let me show you a couple different styles of content before I move on and show you guys what actually goes viral. I think it was here. Okay, we talked about carousels. Come on. Come on, come on. I'm not sure why that's not going. Okay, no big deal. Or Wi-Fi, but you guys get it. Carousels are obviously just multiple images that tell a story. So those are great. Okay, so how do I content batch and how do I find viral videos? Super simple. Literally, just go to the explore page. I'm assuming this is explore page is probably this. Where are we at? Reels, explore. All right, explore page. All right. It's a little different on the desktop, but we're just gonna literally go here. Let's just say I'm searching prayers, just because it's my niche, right? Prayers, morning prayers. Boom. Okay. So all I'm doing, guys, is just literally finding, there's tons of like different ideas of different ways you guys can go about it. And I'm using my niche, obviously, because it's faith-based, right? So all I'm doing is literally trying to find content pieces that are viral. This is viral.
Four prayers to start your day. Heavenly Father, bless my work, multiply my income, and elevate.
So that would be one. I would go ahead and save that. It's got 3,000 comments on it. And I think I already saw that video. I actually follow that guy. So he's got, I think it was like 2 million views on it. 4,000. Boom. That's another one.
Here is a Bible verse for your anxiety. Go ahead and like and save this video as a reminder for later. Philippians chapter 4.
I would go ahead and save that.
Try praying this prayer every morning and watch your life change. Dear God, as the sun rises.
Guys, what the heck? Look, 10,000 comments. Literally just take the script and redo it yourself. You get what I'm saying? 44,000 comments. So that's literally all I'm doing. So for example, I know what's her name? Lucy is really good at cooking, right? So fat loss recipes. Boom. Oh, for a woman. I would go here. Look, 500 and something comments. Look at this, 1,000, right? So I would literally take this. Literally save that. 1,000 comments. 1,700 10-minute dinners.
I am never eating tacos any other way. Here's another 10-minute game-changing dinner. Take your taco shells, take them on the street style ones that are smaller.
I would save that. I would keep looking, keep looking. This has pretty good engagement. Oh, there you go. Notice how all those are all different styles of cooking videos. It's not literally just recipes showing you right here, like, what do I eat in a day, right? Those are all different types of content. Let's just say some of you guys are dads. Dad life. Boom, there's ideas of what you can do with your children, literally to go viral. 795 comments. Come on, guys.
The father's health has a direct impact on his children's health. Harvard study.
This stuff you guys can be doing with your family. Here's a short content. So anyhow, are you guys following along? Let me know if you guys are following along.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just giving you guys ideas on how to find what can work for your niche. Obviously, everybody's niche is going to be slightly different, right? So when you start going through this, right, every single day I do this maybe for about 5-10 minutes. I gather up maybe 20 videos per day. And now I've got a list of like 1,000 videos. So now when I go in content batch, I can literally go and find all the videos that I saved and pick out the ones that I want to recreate. Again, I'm not going to copy them word by word, but I'm going to take the idea. Okay. Now let's go back to my page and see what actually works for me. Guess what? I'm faith-based. So guess what? All these prayer videos, look, 20 million views. Come on, guys. 1.4 million views. Okay. And notice how what I did is I literally took one video that worked of me and my wife praying. People resonated with it. It started going viral. Then I told my wife, you know what? People like to see the prayer videos. Let's find different ways to recreate them. So I had me praying over my wife. Then I had my wife praying over me. Then I had me praying over my daughter, over my son, over my baby. You get what I'm saying? And what happens then is you start finding a trend that actually works. Okay. These are just a small little screenshots of different styles of prayer videos that I have been able to do. And guess what? Look, 1 million views, 1.4 million views, 2.1 million views, 1.8 million views, 1.7 million views, 3.2 million views. And I'll tell you what, guys, I've never paid for followers. I've never paid for likes or anything like that. Look, 7,000 comments. You can go, I mean, your algorithm doesn't, this doesn't lie. You get what I'm saying? Interactions, accounts reached 1.1,152, 1.4, almost 1.5, pretty much. And look how many follows I got off of this. I got off of one video, I got 4,213 follows. Okay. But, I think that was that the one with my wife? Wasn't, I think it was that same one, right? Okay, so let's go to the insights of this one. Okay, exact same thing. This is about to, yeah, 1 million views. Okay. It's got 81,000 likes, 1,600 comments, 38,000 shares. How many follows? I got 3,485 follows off of that one video. And all I'm doing is recreating what works, right? So I went back to the first video that we did of my wife praying over me. I prayed over my daughter. I prayed over my family. I had my wife pray over my daughter. My wife and I praying. Boom, different styles, literally recreating the exact same thing. Let me go back. to showing you guys. This is a reaction video that I did. So I took a viral video.
How long have you been together?
Like 4.5 years.
No, 5 now.
Well, yeah, I guess 5 now.
5 years.
Yeah.
How much did you spend on her wedding ring?
That's a lot. So, I mean, show it. I mean, go ahead. It's a decent amount. So if you look up like a 3 carat diamond, it's a decent amount I spent on her. But she deserves even more.
Sure, but realistically, numbers wise, what we talking?
I mean, how much was it? 35K? 35K, yeah.
$35,000. So he spent that much on a wedding.
People are losing their mind in the comment section because he spent 35,000. I spent 30,000 on my wife's ring, and I didn't even bat an eye when I did it because she's worth it. But I already knew that that was going to be a content piece that people were going to, obviously have something to say.
Ring for you as a gesture. What does he get in return?
I think I should answer. So I get a partner that's loyal. I get the mother of my children. I get the most beautiful woman that I've ever, been around. And the most important thing is how she treats me and how she treats my family and how she treats her family. So for me, I have a partner for life, and it's worth every investment there is.
What can I say? That was beautifully spoken. That man is the leader, and that man is the luckiest man in the world. Now, that is some. So that's a different type of style of obviously reaction video. So what I did is I just let the video play because I already knew that it was already a viral video, and I just added my 2 cents at the end. What was the results of that?
How long have you been together?
Like
20 million
5 now.
views
Yeah, I guess 5
for
now.
that video.
years.
Yeah.
And
How
I
much did you
had
spend on her wedding ring?
39,000
So,
people following me
I mean, show
because
it.
of
I
that
mean, go
video.
ahead. It's a decent amount.
Crazy, right? So what you guys want to do is you want to find, obviously content batch, find videos that are going viral. And once you get that one video, I think it was this one. This is the very first one that we did, my wife and I, because obviously you can see it was an older house that we had. And we saw that it popped off. Then after that, we're like, hey, you know what? We actually prayed when we got married. Why don't we share that? We did. I mean, it got 3.2 million views. Then after that, we did this one. And then that got 2 million views. Then I told my wife that same day, no, it wasn't that same day. It was the next following day before church. I told her, hey, why don't you pray over me? I pray over you, and I pray over our kids, and you pray over our kids. And boom, 1.8, 1.4, 1 million, and so, right? And again, if you pay attention, look at the trends of what's working, right? Look, this one's about to go viral. This one's going viral right now, too.
Dear Heavenly Father,
New
I
insights.
present to you my child.
This is about to hit 1 million as well.
Dear
So,
Heavenly Father,
actually, it was in this one.
to you.
266,000 views. Okay, so that's moving. And I think it was this one that I saw. Okay. All right. Look, over 500,000 views. I posted this like 4 days ago. So literally all I'm doing, guys, is I found what works for me. I already know the prayer videos work for me. I found different ways to do the prayer videos, and I just ran with it, and it keeps working every single time. Let's just say for Lucy, it's, a cooking video of Kung Pao chicken from Panda Express that people love, or that Mandarin chicken that people love. Literally find different ways to replicate that into different dishes. And guess what? You got yourself one viral video. And if it went viral once, guess what? It's going to go viral again. And the last thing that I would say is, guys, I recycle all my viral videos every 2 to 3 months. So these videos, I reposted them again, and it works every single time, because if it went viral once, again, it's going to go viral again. All right. Let me return right over here really quick. Stop share. All right, perfect. I'm going to open it up for questions if you guys have any questions. What did you guys think? How was that? Does that make sense? Any questions?
No, I'm excited. I think it's sorry if you guys probably saw my eyes close a couple of times. I'm like, I hardly had any sleep, so I'm like rocking back and forth chewing gum. I have an amazing story. And how do I go to share? Because I know there's so many women that can relate with what I'm going through, but without, I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, For those of you guys don't know who I am, I'm like, I survived an abusive marriage, and I duked it out for 20 years. And mine is, um, how do I share? Like, you know, mm, how do I share without sounding like, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't even know how to even explain it. Like I don't want to sound like I'm some moper negative Nancy. Mine is, I changed my life around knowing 20 years I've been mentally abused and physically abused, and I'm having to learn how to love myself and see myself in the mirror. One with my transformation too is, it's like PTSD, literally, because I still do have those things that I battle with. Like, how do I share that without being too overshared, or
Yeah, hold on.
I'm probably going to scare people away.
Before we move forward, I keep hearing of repetition in words, and where does that train of thought come from? Who's saying that you sound like a negative Nancy? Like, where is that coming from? Because I'm pretty sure if you were to tell us your story right now, everybody's gonna be like, "Damn, like you survived that." You know what I'm saying? We're
No,
not gonna
yeah,
be like, "Oh my God, what a complainer." So where is that coming from? Where does that stem from?
um, well, I know it sounds stupid me sharing, um, and I know it gets me emotional. I've always been a loner because I feel like I overshare too much with everybody, and it's like when um, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I
that's a
don't
belief
know.
system that we have to break. That's a belief
Yeah.
system that you've already taken that identity that is not of God. Like that's not from God. That's from the enemy. And that's one way that he is able to paralyze you and keep you from sharing your light into the world. Do you know that there's people right now in the world who can use your light, who can use some words of wisdom of what you overcame. And you're qualified to speak about it because you are still standing. You overcame all that and you're still here. You get what I'm saying? You have the authority to speak on that, you know? And there's someone who needs that message today. So when you get in your head thinking that you're being a negative Nancy or you're not qualified or whatever it is, you're keeping that person from that message that they need to hear today, you know?
Okay.
So that identity is not from you, it's not from God, that someone instilled that in the past. And we got to break that because that's not who you are. So every single time that you feel that, rebuke it. Rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ, because that is not from God. You get what I'm saying? That's one way that the enemy keeps you from sharing your light because he knows the threat that you are to society. Guess what? If you start sharing your story, guess how many people you're going to save? Guess how many people are going to become a better version of themselves? Guess how many people are going to start living a purpose driven life instead of floating through life, in depression, in whatever it is that they're dealing. He knows that you're a threat, and that's why he keeps attacking your identity. So, how do you start? You just start talking about it, start putting it in small little pieces, you know? So, for example, I don't know, I know bits and pieces of what you went through, but let me give you an example of what that looks like. Let's just say we take a 2-minute video. Hey, if anybody is going through domestic abuse or maybe you're stuck in a relationship that you feel it's draining you emotionally, spiritually, and physically, you don't have to be there. You don't. All you have to do is find the courage inside of you to walk away. When you start respecting yourself and you start valuing yourself, guess what? Other people will start doing it. You teach people how you want to be treated. And if you feel like you're stuck, it is not too late to get out. If anybody can restore you, it's Jesus. Ask for help. If you need help, reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to guide you on how I was able to do that. Guys, most of you guys don't know this, but I was stuck in a 15-year relationship where my ex-husband took me, to the worst time of my life. In fact, that was something that I thought was going to break me, but it didn't. And now I'm still standing. And if I'm still standing, guess what? You can be standing too. The only thing that you have to do is make a decision. You're one decision away from changing your life. Go ahead and DM me the word change, and I'll be more than happy to guide you through this.
Okay.
Something like that.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Perfect.
Don't
Yes.
be afraid. Don't overthink it. Start giving bits and pieces, but you have to share that story so people can resonate with it. You know, it doesn't have to be packaged all fancy. Like I didn't even give all the details, but people already know that within that story, there's been a domestic abuse, there's been some type of mental abuse, you know, and so and so. And guess what? There was a victory at the end. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll keep working on that part. Nereida, did you want to chime in? Audio.
Hi guys. Lucy, I'm a coach also, and I'm divorced. And just to give you an insight, like I don't know you, but I like see you as such a strong woman. Like I don't get that impression of you as a negative Nancy. And like one thing I can just tell you, like if you've come from any sort of like abusive relationship, verbal, whatever, physical, you're gonna feel this insecurity to like speak your truth. And I think, you just have to hone in, let that old version of you die. That's not you anymore. You're this like powerhouse of a woman. And I think your story is credible to anyone because to see that transformation of who you were before and to see like you're just what you're exuding, you got to own it. And I just,
Okay.
I think you're a beautiful person
Thank you.
and you should never feel insecure about what anybody thinks. Who cares? We're human and somebody's going to see your story and going to be like, I want to look like her. To, I want to know what you went through so then I can, feel as confident and strong as you. And it's just like speaking woman to woman.
I
I want to
appreciate
just give you
you.
that.
No,
Yeah,
thank
no,
you. I appreciate
no
it. Thank
problem.
you so much. No, definitely. I
I want to give you
appreciate
that
you.
confidence. I don't see
Yeah.
that in you at all. Use your voice because there's a lot of power behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I love
remember,
that. Thank
Lucy,
you.
confidence comes from repetition. You know,
Okay.
nobody builds confidence without repetitive work. So the only way that you're going to
Okay.
build that confidence is by you slowly speaking about it, bits and pieces, bits and pieces, bits and pieces. You get what I'm saying? So take
Okay.
a little topic and see how you can tie your story into it. So right now I was talking about domestic abuse, but I'm pretty sure there was so much more that you overcame or so much more things that came into that relationship that affected you in different ways, right? So again, you can start building off of that, right?
I got
So
a good one.
remember,
I
just think
know.
about what were you going through and what did you overcome and start
Mhm.
sharing it. So condense it into small little like bits and pieces. And this is why it's really good for you to do like a podcast, try to get into a podcast. There's tons of them all over Texas. You get what I'm saying? And if not, maybe you and
Yeah.
I can, maybe you can come over to my place and I can interview you and I can ask you certain questions. And boom, once you start telling your story once, guess what? It becomes a little easier. You take those bits and pieces
All
of
right.
that content, and again, you can just create content off of that. But don't keep the world from the light that you can offer them, because God gave you that authority. And the
No,
reason that you're
perfect.
here, and
Thank you.
especially the reason that you're in this coaching space, is because He anointed you to be there. To be the light for other people.
No,
Make
perfect.
sense?
Thank you.
Perfect. All right.
Yes.
Any other
Thank you.
questions?
Thank you, guys.
Mhm.
Confidence is a muscle. You have to build it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Any other questions? What did you guys enjoy? Did you guys get some value?
Yes. I'm
Good,
I'm I'm glad you talked about photo shoots. I did one today.
good.
My first one, and it was the most amazing experience. So it was great.
Good, good. Perfect, perfect. Keep investing into video shoots, photo shoots, and stuff like that. That's all personal branding. And again, your vibe attracts your tribe. So for me, this is why I always try to dress well. If I want to, attract high level, elite, top tier people, I got to look the part to be able to do that and attract them, right? And it's the same way that I speak, the same way that I present myself, and things like that. So that's a great investment. Perfect. If you guys don't have any more questions, I guess I'm going to let you guys go. All right. You guys
Thank
good?
you.
All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you
Thank
guys got
you.
some value from today. If you guys have any further questions, please reach out to me. Other than that, God bless you. Let's get
Thank
it,
you.
guys.